Okay, everyone. I am back to show you one way that you can use paper to make a car. If I angle this up for you, you can see how I've taken just some folded and glued and taped paper and turned it into my little taxi. All right. That's the first one I'm going to show you. Okay. It's going to be driving down the street that direction, I guess. And then I'm going to use this Ziploc box to try to make a truck. So if you want to make a paper car that looks like this, or even use it as a starting point and then change it a little bit. The way I made that was by taking something like a ruler that I could trace. And I laid it right down the center of the paper and I traced the width of it. That means I held the ruler down and I traced on both sides. So if I hold the ruler here, I'm going to make a line on this side, and without moving the ruler, I'm also going to make a line on the other side. Okay, so when I remove the ruler, that's what I have. It looks like a little road going down the center. I'm going to take the ruler and I'm going to trace the width one more time on one end of the paper, so it looks like a capital letter T. Okay, I've lined it up on one side, and I need to hold the ruler down. It helps if you hold it in the center. And it doesn't even have to be a ruler. Anything that's a straight edge that you could trace. It could be the edge of a notebook, the edge of a book. Just something that you could trace so that you have a rectangle on one short side and then a rectangle that goes down the center. Now I'm going to cut these shapes out, so all I'm left with is that capital letter T. All right. I'm also going to save my scraps because I can definitely use them for other projects, and I might also be able to use it for something else with this project. It does not need to be colored paper. It could be a piece of lined paper. Any kind of paper will do. Now, I'm going to crease the 3 pencil lines. That means I'm going to fold on those 3 lines. First, I'm going to fold the short sides. Okay, so I fold this one in, I give it a crease, and then I'm going to open it back up. Okay, then I'll crease this side, open it back up. All right, the last side I'm going to crease is the long one, and I'm probably going to end up cutting the length of this a little bit once I figure out exactly how long I want it to be. So I have that capital letter T now, and you see how the sides can fold in. If I flip it over like this, so the tall side is on the top, I can loop this so that it makes that car shape. Okay, now I think if I leave it this long, that is going to be too tall for my car. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I think maybe this car I'm going to make a little bit shorter than my taxi. I'm going to cut it right here. I'm just holding with my finger where I know that I want to cut it. All right, so I'm going to trim the paper, and then I'm going to open it back up. Okay, I have my tape ready with me. You could also use glue to do this. You just need to hold it in place a little bit longer. And on each short end, not the longer side, each short end, I'm going to fold a little triangle, okay? Just folded it in a little bit. You could probably even just fold a little tab this direction, and I'm sure it would work the same, but I'm going to fold mine like a little triangle. Okay, so this is what I have. Now, the reason why I folded these 2 tabs is because that's where I'm going to tape this section of the car. All right, watch this. If I fold these 2 up again, like this, I can now attach this folded flap right onto this piece of the car. Okay. See how now I have this little flap that I can tape. So now I'm just going to take my little piece of tape. Sometimes it's good to have the pieces pre-cut. I might stick them to the edge of my table. So now I can tape this here. Rub, rub, rub. Okay, then I can take the other side and attach it just like that. And that's what it looks like on the inside. Take my next piece of tape and just have to try to wiggle it in there. And again, this is just one way that you can make a car. Now, if it looks like it's not going to stay together out here, you can always put some glue inside of there, or you could even reinforce it just with a little bit more tape. Okay, so you can also glue, or not glue, I'm going to tape the outside also. And you always just want to make sure you rub, rub, rub to make sure that tape is really stuck down. Rub, rub, rub. Okay, so this is going to be the shape for my next car. Now I can add some wheels. I can add a shape for the windshield at the front of the car. I think I'm going to try doing wheels that are a little bit bigger than this one. And I'm going to start by, you can use any color you want. You could have purple and pink wheels if you want. I'm just going to use black because that's what I have here. I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to cut while it's folded a nice circle shape. You can draw it first if you need to. Let's see if these look too big. Nope, I like them just fine. Now I need 2 more wheels for the other side of the car. Let's see. Fold my paper this direction now. Maybe I can get 2 more wheels out of this scrap. If you cut while the paper is folded, you'll always get matching shapes. All right, now I've got 2 for the other side. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little dab of glue on one wheel. Now I'm wondering if I put them just a little bit past the edge. We'll do a little experiment. We will see if they can actually kind of hold the car up. I have a theory that I think they probably can. I have a little glue on my fingers, so I'm just gonna rub it off. All right, I'm gonna put a little here, a little here where I want my wheels to go. And I'm just gonna have it off the edge a little bit. You see, I didn't do that on this one. On this one, it's level with the bottom. This one, I wanna see if I can just make it look like the car is up a little bit off the road. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for a few minutes before I try to stand it on its wheels. And I'm gonna cut a little shape for the windshield. I could also draw a simple line for where a door might be. I'll hold it behind here. Just gonna make a line down like this, maybe a little handle. Flip it over. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, and the windshield. I'm just gonna take a little piece of white paper. I'm gonna cut just a little rectangle shape or a little square, and I'll see how that fits on there. I can always cut it smaller if I need to. I'm gonna put it right there. I think that's perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of glue right on the top. Spread it with the cap that's on top of my glue. And again, if all you have is tape, you can use tape for this. It does not have to be glue. And you might have another way that you've thought about making a car also. So you don't have to do it this way. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it in place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll do my wheels again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now you can also kind of pinch those folds. I could probably figure out a way just by folding it to make the top of the car a little bit flatter. And you guys can play around with this any way you want and make changes also. Okay. All right, my car looks like it is standing, although I think I need to trim these wheels just a little bit shorter so they match the other side of the car. Right now my car is tilting or leaning towards one side. Perfect. All right. Now the last thing I'm going to do is add some little headlights to the front of this car. I'm thinking I'll do some yellow. So actually I have this little tiny scrap here. It's probably all I need. If I fold this in half and just cut the corners off, I can make 2 round little headlights. And again, if you don't have colored paper, all you need is a white sheet and you can color it. I put my headlights on the front here. So I'm going to put 2 little dots of glue where I want them to go. And then I can just stick the headlights right on. 1 and 2. All right, then I've got my car. We are ready to go. Now for this one, I wanted to make a little taxi sign at the top. All I did for that one is I folded a little piece of paper and I just put glue on the tab that was facing the bottom. Okay, I wrote taxi on the top and voila, I've got 2 little cars to ride down the street in my sculpture. All right, in my last video, I'm going to show you some ways that you could make a truck or how you could make a car with some cardboard.